And so I hate to pile on with advice. But while I'm here, what the heck, I figure I should offer a few thoughts based on my own experiences, but also based on my hopes for all of you and for our country in the years ahead. First, understand that your success in life won't be determined just by what's given to you or what happens to you, but by what you do with all that's given to you, what you do with all that happens to you, how hard you try, how far you push yourself, how high you're willing to reach. True excellence only comes with perseverance. This wasn't something I really understood when I was back your age. My father, some of you know, left my family when I was 2 years old. I was raised by a single mom and my grandparents, and sometimes I had a tendency to goof off. As my mother put it, I had a tendency sometimes to act a bit casual about my future. Sometimes I was rebellious. Sometimes I partied a little too much. Oh, yes, yes. This is a cautionary tale. Don't be cheering when I said that. Studied just enough to get by. I thought hard work, responsibility, that's old-fashioned. That's just people want to tell me what to do. But after a few years, after I was living solely on my own, and I realized that living solely for my own entertainment wasn't so entertaining anymore, that it wasn't particularly satisfying anymore, that I didn't seem to be making much of a ripple in the world, I started to change my tune. I realized that by refusing to apply myself, there was nothing I could point to that I was proud of that would last. Now, you come of an age in a popular culture that actually reinforces this approach to life. I mean, you watch TV, and basically what it says is you can be rich and successful without much effort. You just have to become a celebrity. If you can achieve some reality TV notoriety, that's better than lasting achievement. We live in a culture that tells you there's a quick fix for every problem and a justification for every selfish desire. And all of you were raised with cell phones and iPods and texting and emails, and you're able to call up a fact or a song or a friend with a click of a button, so you're used to instant gratification. But meaningful achievement, lasting success, it doesn't happen in an instant. It's not about luck. It's not about a sudden stroke of genius. It's not usually about talent. It's usually about daily effort. The large choices and the small choices that you make that add up over time. It's about the skills you build and the knowledge you accumulate and the energy you invest in every task, no matter how trivial or menial it may seem at the time. You've got an alum who plays for the Yankees, I hear. He's supposed to be pretty good. Now, Derek Jeter wasn't born playing shortstop for the Yankees. He got there through years of effort. And his high school baseball coach once remarked, "I'm surprised he still doesn't have blisters, and that I don't have the blisters on my hands from hitting ground balls just for Derek." He always wanted more. How about one more turn in the batting cage, or 25 more ground balls? Thomas Edison tested more than 6,000 different materials for just one tiny part of the light bulb that he invented. Think about that. 6,000 tests. J.K. Rowling's first Harry Potter book was rejected 12 times before it was finally published. Mozart was a musical prodigy, but he practiced for hours each day, accumulating thousands of hours at the piano by the time he was just 6 years old. I understand your boys' basketball team did pretty good. first state champions for the first time in 59 years. That didn't happen by accident. They put in work. They put in effort. So today, you all have a rare and valuable chance to pursue your own passions, chase your own dreams, without incurring a mountain of debt. What an incredible gift. So you've got no excuse for giving anything less than your best effort. No excuses. That's my second piece of advice, very simple. Don't make excuses. Take responsibility not just for your successes, take responsibility where you fall short as well. You know, the truth is, no matter how hard you work, you're not going to ace every class. Well, maybe Cindy will, but... But you're not going to ace every class. You're not going to succeed the first time you try something. There are going to be times when you screw up. There'll be times where you hurt people you love. There'll be times where you make a mistake and you stray from the values that you hold most deeply. And when that happens, it's the easiest thing in the world to start looking around for somebody else to blame. Your professor was too hard. Your boss was a jerk. The coaches was playing favorites. Your friend just didn't understand. Your wife, oh, no. I'm just messing with Michelle right there. That was all in fun. No, but this is an easy habit to get into. You see it every day in Washington. Every day. Folks calling each other names, making all sorts of accusations on television. Everybody's always pointing a finger at somebody else. You notice that? Now, this community could have easily gone down that road. This community could have made excuses. Well, our kids have fewer advantages, our schools have fewer resources, how can we compete? You could have spent years pointing fingers, blaming parents, blaming teachers, blaming the principal, blaming the superintendent, blaming the president. But that's, class of 2010, I want you to pay attention on this because that's not what happened. Instead, this community was honest with itself about where you were falling short. You resolved to do better, push your kids harder, open their minds wider, expose them to all kinds of ideas and people and experiences. So graduates, I hope you'll continue those efforts. Don't make excuses. And I hope that wherever you go, you won't narrow the broad intellectual and social exposure you've had here at Kalamazoo Central. Instead, seek to expand it. Don't just hang out with people who look like you or go to the same church you do or share your political views. Broaden your circle to include people with different backgrounds and life experiences, because that's how you'll end up learning what it's like to walk in somebody else's shoes. That's how you'll come to understand the challenges other people face. And this is not just an academic exercise. It's a way to broaden your ambit of concern and learn to see yourselves in each other. Which brings me to my final piece of advice for today, and that's to give back, to be part of something bigger than yourselves. Hitch your wagon to something that is bigger than yourselves. I know that so many of you have already served your community through efforts like your Stuff the Bus food drives and groups like Activists for Action, and I commend you for that. But I also know that many of you are the first in your family to go to college. And right about now, you may be feeling all the weight of their hopes and expectations coming down on your shoulders. And once you start juggling those classes and activities and that campus job, and you get caught up in your own dreams and your own anxieties and dating, you may feel like you've got enough on your plate just dealing with your own life. And it might be easier to turn the channel when the news disturbs you, to avert your eyes when you pass that homeless man